Hi guys, here's my video on a disability versus addiction. Addiction is something that can be treated. It's something that you can develop if you start doing drugs or if you start smoking or if you become if you drink alcohol every day. That stuff can get can you can addiction can start right at any age. But if you start smoking or drinking or doing drugs while you're in your teens, especially, you're more likely to become addicted. So yeah, I've been on the bus with a few men. I think they're in their 40s and 50s. Um, I was on the number 9 from Kingsway. I took the 8 from McEwen to Kingsway, then I transferred to the 9 to go to Eau Claire Transit Center. Um, One of the guys let me sit beside him, but I nicely asked if I wanted if they wanted to buy some chocolate almonds for $3, and just it's because the reason why I'm selling chocolate almonds is because I'm raising money for school, so I can raise money to pay for university. And one of the guys was like, "Oh, I only have enough for a pack of cigarettes," and I'm like, how much is one pack?" And they're like, "It's $15," and I'm like, "Well, if you do have money for cigarettes, then you do have enough money for $3 and so forth. And he mentioned that what like what like I didn't know these guys. They're just on the 9. They mentioned that they smoked for like over 50 years, or almost half a century, and I'm like, of course, right? If you smoke for a very long time, like for decades, of course it's gonna be hard to quit. But the thing is, you have to have the willingness to quit, or you're not gonna quit anyway. Um. Anyways, I just suggested that they quit. Like it was just a suggestion, just because it's really bad for your health. You're at risk for lung cancer. And if your lungs are black, it just means they're not healthy. They're actually supposed to be white or pink. I don't remember the color exactly. They're not supposed to be black. If you want healthy lungs, you don't want any of the stuff in there. But one of the men that was sitting beside me was like, "Oh, like think of this blindness. You can't see, so and so oh, blah blah blah. Like you can't see, and so like why don't you just get eye transplant?" Or he told me, "Oh, he told me oh, you could have moved over when there's some stroller on, or you could have moved 2 steps, like blah blah blah." But you know what? But you know what? It's like those people are ignorant, Like they think, "Oh, I'm 44 years old. I'm educated. I know everything." And they think they can just like talk down on me just because I'm younger than them. Like they think that's okay, and so forth. And like I got pretty mad at one of the guys because he was kind of being rude to me. And after the guy that was sitting next to me said, "Oh, how can you not see? You should get an eye transplant." I just said, "Excuse me, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's impossible. An eye transplant is not gonna improve my vision. No, 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 no." And as I was explaining to him about why my visual impairment is permanent, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to you, blah blah blah," and like I don't care if you have I don't care about your blindness and so forth. That's what it seemed like, but and like he was making he was trying to make my blindness or visual impairment seem like an addiction when it's not. It's just something that just happened to me when I was an infant, right? That impairs my ability to recognize faces, the ability to read print. So I just have to live with it. I just have to read differently. I just have to learn how to walk safely without being able to see where I'm going. So that's why I have a white cane. And like those people are just so ignorant. And I told the bus driver, and I asked the bus driver, "Can you let me know if you see those guys again? Because I don't need them to harass me like that. Although I could have been more mature about it and said, you know what, I don't appreciate you being arrogant. You think you like just like you're acting like you know everything. Like, sorry about that. I don't mean to burp. Instead of telling him to f off, I think I should have been more mature about it. Like, handle it more in a more mature manner. Like I don't know. Those guys are 40 and 50 years old. They think they know everything, but I don't know. Their attitude was just so shitty. Like, it's unbelievable, right? Because an addiction can be treated. You can go to rehab. Same with depression. You can get medication for it, and you just have to have a doctor to prescribe the medication. Like, I'm on Celexa, which is an antidepressant. I've been on it for over 2 years now. Like, actually 3 years, which is quite a while. But with my visual impairment, there is no cure. And I'm telling this to you guys who are also visually impaired. Like, I'm sorry, there's no way the doctors can fix your eyes. I'm sorry, there's no ways that they can make your vision better. No way. That's not happening. Although there are research there are research on this stuff, or there is research on this stuff, but there's not a lot. That's the problem there, Like, you don't know how effective it is. And I heard about this woman who had this binocular implant in her brain, and the video camera, like, she would hold this camera and put on her glasses. So the glasses would transmit the stuff from the camera, into the visual cortex of the brain. But it's not quite effective yet. There's still years to go. Like, technology to give a visually impaired or blind person the gift of sight is still years away. It's still in its infancy. But just because you have an addiction and you don't want to quit, it doesn't mean you can be ignorant about it, right? They're saying, oh, I'm not gonna quit because you said so, blah blah blah. And I'm like, fine, don't quit then. That's your choice. I don't know, like, old people these days don't want to change. Like, especially old men. Like, a majority of old men are ignorant, and they think they know everything. They're so arrogant. They're so close-minded. And they're very, very, very resistant to change. Just like those guys that say, "Oh, I've been smoking for over half a century. What's the point? What's the point of quitting? I don't want to quit." Or, like, I'm educated. I know more than you do. Just because I'm 44, you're young. You're like 20 something. You don't know anything. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of old people talk like that, and it just makes me so sick. Like, just because you're older than someone, it doesn't mean that you know every single thing. It's impossible. It's impossible to know everything. Because if we knew everything, we would stop learning. We have no way to learn anything at all, Because then we know everything that's happening in the universe. That means we'll know what the future looks like. We'll know 100 years what the technology would look like, and so forth. We'll know everyone's phone numbers. We'll know everyone's, like, names and all that stuff, right? It's impossible to learn if we know everything. But like, one thing to realize for old people like you guys is, there are educated older people, but there are also less educated older people. My parents, they didn't get a chance to finish high school. They didn't get a chance to go to university. My mom had to stop school when she was 11 years old because she was very poor. She lived in Vietnam. She had to support her family. My dad finished only grade 9. Like, it's possible to be younger than your parents and have more education than them, right? But, of course, my parents have more life experience than I do because they've been around more than I did, right? And, There are highly educated younger people and there are less educated younger people. Like, you know, you can't just, like, being 44 doesn't automatically make you educated. It does not at all. Anyways, guys, this is my video. All right. Bye.